It's a beautiful night in Atlanta, and it's time for Braves baseball. Another big crowd filing in for the third, final, and rubber game of our three-game series. Hopefully the Braves will have a few more bloopers than the Phillies as they try to win a second series against them here in 2018. Hi again, friends. Pair of Hall of Famers and yours truly with you for the final game of the series. Intriguing pitching matchup tonight. Tommy, let's start with Brandon McCarthy. He's 2-0. He tries to run his record to 3-0 with a win tonight.
Yeah, he'll try to get the rubber match tonight in this series, and certainly a good guy for the Braves to have going out there. Veteran right-hander, brings veteran leadership and stability to the rotation. He's been off to a great start. 2-0 this year with a 3.31 ERA. Look for him to go out there tonight, pound the strike zone, try to get deep in the ball game and give the Braves a good chance to win this thing. And on the other side, Joe, pretty good young right-hander going for the Phillies too.
Yeah, he's another really exciting right-hander for the Phillies, and Vince Velasquez. He had a horrible first start of the year here at Turner Field, his first start, but he's really got the ship righted now. He had two good outings since then. In fact, one game where he got 20 runs to work with. So he's back on track, and he has not allowed a home run this year.
Well, hopefully he'll allow one or more tonight on what's already been an eventful day here at SunTrust Park. To explain that, let's join our colleague Paul Bird downstairs. Hi, Paul.
Well, thanks, Chip. It has been an eventful day. Braves tomorrow starter Anibal Sanchez was running in batting practice in right field. It got nasty. He flipped on the ground, was visibly upset, taken away on a cart, put in an air cast. So it was a very nasty injury. Could have been a lot worse. A lot of people worried about him. He will go on the 10-day DL with a right hamstring. The starters, because of the off day in Chicago, will pick up on their normal day of rest. We'll see what they do in 5 days. In response to the DL move, they called up Johan Camargo, who was outstanding in AAA last 3 games. He had multi-hit games in each of those. He's got his laser arm ready to go in uniform tonight and trademark smile. We'll see if he gets out there. Chip, back to you.
Okay, Paul, thank you very much. Hopefully all will turn out well for Anibal Sanchez sooner rather than later. It's the series finale. Braves and the Fightin' Phils on a perfect night for baseball. We'll get to first pitch right after the break. I want to be heard. It's a gorgeous day. Back-to-back beautiful evenings for baseball here in Atlanta as the Braves and Phillies meet in Game 3 of the series. Gabe Kapler's club's playing good baseball. They've won 7 of their last 8 games, and it's another day, another lineup for the Phillies rookie skipper. If you're on this 25-man Philly roster, you'd better be ready to play because he's going to use you. Tonight, he's got Cesar Hernandez leading off their Toyota starting 9. Scott Kingery's in left field. A duel Herrera in center. Rhys Hoskins moves from left to first, so no Carlos Santana facing Atlanta tonight. Williams, Franco, Knapp, Velasquez 8th, and J.P. Crawford, the shortstop, will hit 9th. We've had 2 outstanding games back-to-back here in the first 2 games of the series. Braves won the first one 2-1. Phillies won last night 5-1 with 4 runs in the 10th. And how about Brandon McCarthy, fellas, after injuring his non-pitching shoulder in his left start? It looked like a pretty serious injury. He's ready to go in turn today.
Yeah, I'm just glad it wasn't more serious than it appeared when it first happened.
Yeah, you get one of those shoulders that sub-blocks. I guess you're always prone to it a little bit, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And if he gets any ground balls where he's got to cover first base, Freddie's got to lead him a little better.
So McCarthy at 2-0 on the year, making his 4th start. Beat the Nationals in that last outing. And he beat the Phillies here on March 31st. Like Velasquez, he's gotten a ton of run support. Tommy, tough to lose when you get 15.
No, yeah, well, it is not impossible, but tough. So yeah, let's hope that trend continues for him tonight, and not for Velasquez.
And his 4 keys to pitching success tonight. His first key is the first inning. In his first 3 starts, hitters are 3 for 10 with 3 walks in the first inning. It's like he's got to have a little settling in period. Hopefully tonight it won't be too rough, and save the bullpen. Pitch as deep as you can tonight, because with the injury to Sanchez, it looks like maybe the odds-on guy to start tomorrow would be Lucas Sims. So the Braves are hoping they don't have to use him out of the bullpen tonight.
The other story that came out of the game last night was Jose Ramirez was complaining after the game of a sore shoulder, a shoulder that was troubling him, he said, pretty much all spring long, and he was placed on the disabled list by the Braves before action tonight. So different looking relief corps for Brian Snitker in game 3 of this series this evening. Jesse Biddle is the man that took Ramirez's place in the Atlanta pen tonight. He's a former Philly first-round pick. Cesar Hernandez ready to go. Braves pinch in at the corners with Flaherty and Freeman. Brandon McCarthy goes to work. And this is up and away with ball 1. Tom, again, it's not Brandon's pitching shoulder, but his glove shoulder. What effect would that injury have on you as you make your windup?
I don't, during his windup, I don't think it'll be a problem. I think where he gets into trouble is, like you say, the position you saw going to first base. So my concern for him would be more fielding his position. You know, if he's got to get that glove up above shoulder height, then yeah, hold your breath and make sure nothing happens.
Fouled back by Hernandez. McCarthy quickly ahead, a ball and 2 strikes.
He had great stuff that day. His sinker and cutter were both working beautifully together, both sides of the plate.
He's ahead of the Phillies second baseman quickly, and just missed downstairs. Good game for Hernandez last night. He had a key bunt in the 10th inning. The Phillies were trying to sacrifice, and Hernandez dropped a bunt down and beat the play at first. And he was one of 4 Phillies to score in extra innings, and he'll have a seat here as McCarthy froze him. Good start for Brandon. A called 3rd strike, 1 out.
Good fastball on the outside black. Good follow up to the pitch before, froze him. Good start.
Here's Scott Kingery off to a .255 start in his rookie season. Kingery does not have a hit in this series. But went 4 for 9 against the Braves in the opening set here in Atlanta, including his first big league hit. One ball, 1 strike. There's a lot to like with this young man playing for Philadelphia. He can play anywhere. An infielder by trade tonight. He's got the start in left as they give Santana a night off at first base. And there are a lot of interchangeable parts for Gabe Kapler with his 25-man roster and his starting 8. And Kingery a big part of that. High fly ball hit toward left center field. Ender is on the run to the track, to the wall, leaping try. He got it. What a catch. Ender at the last moment leaps up and takes one away from Kingery. What a play. 2 out.
Timed it perfectly by not getting too close to the wall that might limit his height on the jump. I thought it was out until I saw the fans cheer.
Yeah, I did too. I didn't think he had a chance. Great play.
Nice way to start the night.
An incredible catch by Ender Inciarte to Rob Kingery. 2 down for Herrera. A double 3 for 9 in the series. He's hit a homer. He's knocked in 2. No balls and a strike for the Phillies center fielder. And that's sprayed foul. It's 0-2. So far, Joe's Ford Key first inning for McCarthy. 2 up, 2 down, and a great catch.
Yeah, I got a little help.
Dubel's reached base in 18 consecutive games for Philadelphia. McCarthy will try to put that to rest tonight. And a ground ball to the right side. Freddie's going to take it himself. No need for a feed. And how about McCarthy? A clean, efficient inning thanks to the defensive heroics of Ender Inciarte. He timed his leap perfectly to keep this game scoreless. Ender Inciarte made a great catch a moment ago, and he, as always, will lead off the Atlanta offensive attack for Brian Snitker. Inciarte, Albies, Freeman the first 3. Markakis, Suzuki, Tucker, Swanson, Flaherty, McCarthy on the Toyota starting 9. And the Braves hope to pound away against Vince Velasquez, which is what they did here on March the 30th.
Making his 4th start, 1-1 on the year with a 3.52 ERA. Coming up a good start his last time out. Pick up the win against Tampa Bay. 6 2/3 inning, 1-run baseball.
He would be delighted if he could give up 1 run to the Braves, because on March 31st he gave up 7 runs, 9 hits, in 2 2/3 innings in his season debut. In fact, this is a rematch of McCarthy and Velasquez. The Braves won that game 15-2, pounded out 19 hits.
Good life on his fastball, 92 to 95. He's got a split finger pitch and a changeup.
Ender's 4 for 16 against him. Ender has 4 hits in the first 2 games of this series. So the weather's warming up, and so is he. The 2-1 way outside, ball 3. Velasquez came over from the Astros in the Ken Giles deal. Velasquez originally a 2nd-round pick in 2010. Suffered through an injury-plagued 2017 year. Line drive into center field, a base hit for Inciarte, his 5th of the series. Ender led off innings with singles 3 times last night. He scored a first inning run in game 2. Let's see if the Braves can strike first tonight.
Yeah, he's getting back. Everybody that was all worried about him can not lose any more sleep.
So Velasquez immediately to the stretch as Ozzie Albies is coming up. Called a strike for the Braves second baseman. Ozzie had his 5 consecutive games with a multi-hit tally interrupted last night. He went 0 for 4.
He's getting a haircut before batting practice today. I wonder if that'll make it easier for his helmet to fly off.
Can it get any easier?
Probably not. No.
Keep an eye on Ender. He's got 5 stolen bases on the year. And he's got a good lead. Not going. And the pitch popped up back toward us. And out of play for Albies, who finds himself behind 0-2.
Finally got a nice warm night, didn't we?
It's a beauty. No balls, 2 strikes. Braves batting for the first time against Velasquez, who snaps a throw to first, and Ender back again. Seems like the weather, though, can't make up its mind. It's supposed to cool off tonight. A cooler evening tomorrow when the Mets come in. As Velasquez readies with an 0-2 pitch. And Ozzie spoiled that. Temps in the 60s expected tomorrow. And New York comes to Atlanta.
Yeah, I think tomorrow night's supposed to be quite frigid overnight.
And the Mets have suddenly gone frigid. They're losing to Washington again, 3-0. That game's in the second. No balls, 2 strikes. Ozzie off stride, spoiled it again. It's over the netting behind the Phillies dugout. We'll do it again.
Well, they're not frigid, but the Braves have got some guys in the lineup that have been a little cold lately. Guys that had been red hot, driving in a lot of runs. Freeman, Markakis, Tucker. All could use a good game tonight. Get back on track.
Velasquez ready with his 10th pitch. He has yet to record an out. And down the left field line, that's slicing toward the stands. And Albies continues his good battle. And she's got a souvenir. I'm guessing she's from Houston, Texas.
That'd be a good call. You were probably a private investigator earlier in your life.
Captain Obvious was my rank. The 0-2 pitch. Here it is. Just missed the inside corner. Velasquez wants to know where it was. Marty Foster set inside. Mentioned the injury problems for Velasquez last year. There's never been a doubt about his arm. There's never been a doubt about top of the rotation type stuff. But it hasn't translated to the big leagues quite yet. And middle finger surgery and a right elbow flexor strain last year certainly interrupted what the Phillies were hoping was going to be a big campaign. It's a guy that had a 16 strikeout game in April 2 years ago. And no walks in that game. In a game like that, I would guess, Tom, can be on one hand a great blessing because all of a sudden you feel like you can beat anybody. But the curse is then every time you go out, everybody expects that kind of performance every fifth day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm sure. Yeah, he's reminded of, you know, see, that's what you can do. Well, yeah, that's a pretty special night. Obviously, you're not going to do that every time, but somewhere near that would be good.
1-2 count. Runner goes. Pitch is lined to first, and Hoskins with a backhand speared that, and a tough luck double play lined into by Ozzie Albies.
They play Ozzie the other way, left-handed. A lot of room on the right side, and what's he do? He hits it right at Hoskins, who almost had his glove taken off.
That was a really good play.
Yeah.
So their bases are empty for Freddie Freeman, a .286 hitter. Maybe looking for his first hit of the series. As Joe mentioned, he's cooled off a bit. And a big swing and a miss for Freddie Freeman. Got the corner called that time. Big shift on for Freeman. And the 0-2 pitch. Straw came out inside corner, and Velasquez with 96-mile-an-hour gas gets out of his half of the first inning. No score. The Phillies, he has been a tough out for Atlanta, and he is part of our Zaxby's indescribably good plays tonight.
You see four guys there that are in the top 6 in the National League that are playing in this game. Only Harper and Bryant are not in there tonight. Pretty good numbers for all 4 of those gentlemen.
Hoskins hitting .327 on the year, and I'd love to get both of your perspectives on Hoskins now as he starts his first full major league season. Joe, from a hitting standpoint, what do you see? And Tom, from a pitching standpoint, how do you get this guy out? Because the Braves haven't done it yet.
I think mine's easier to answer.
Yeah.
He's got great plate coverage. He's willing to hit the ball where it's pitched. He has scary power, so pitchers seem to be reluctant to pitch him inside, although that was a great off-speed pitch in. but he certainly got that outer half covered and more.
I don't know. I mean, I'd probably try some change-ups, maybe. A sinker.
What's that? Line drive headed for the gap in left center. Ender will not get there. It'll bounce right to him. Hoskins has to slam on the brakes. Excellent work by Inciarte to hold him to a long single. That's almost a moral victory at this point, the way Hoskins is going.
Looked like a hanger. Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, like Joe said, I mean, I think typically with young guys, you know, you want to, the first thing you're going to try to find out is if they can hit off-speed pitches. They obviously can hit a fastball. That's why they got here. Can you handle the off-speed stuff, and how much will you chase? He is kind of that rare combination as a power guy that hits for power but doesn't chase a whole lot. And as a young guy, that's pretty special if you have that kind of discipline already this early in your career.
Well, he's 8 for 17 now against Atlanta with that base hit, and he's aboard in front of Nick Williams, who's 1 for 3 in the series as well. Late swing and another bouncing ball into the Phillies dugout. This time it's Andrew Knapp that gets nailed. J.P. Crawford got hit with a foul ball earlier in the series.
There's a lot of netting over there you can stand behind.
Or other players you can stand behind.
Or put the gear on, for crying out loud. He's a catcher. 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Williams is caught looking. Second strikeout for McCarthy, 1 away in the inning.
It's like the pitch that was called on Hernandez.
Here's Franco. Franco had a heartbreaking hit last night. He drove in 2 of the 4 runs in the 10th inning for the Phillies, as both Hoskins and Franco on 2-2 counts hit 2-run doubles. The Braves are a strike away from getting out of the 10th inning with no damage done, but it wasn't to be.
Well, back to Hoskins. He struck out 3 times last night, all swinging. So I thought the Braves had maybe found something. And then lo and behold, he hits that double into the right field corner to drive in the first 2 runs of the game. And it was probably 4, 5, 6 inches off the plate outside. This guy had been striking out the last 2 nights on a lot of sliders, and all of a sudden he got a fastball that he could handle, and that's where he did his damage.
So Franco on the road trip for the Phillies has only 3 hits, but 5 RBIs and 17 runs batted in overall for Gabe Kapler's club. Just a little bit low, looked like a strike.
Ooh. It is a strike. That's a good pitch.
Braves turned 4 double plays last night. 1 here wouldn't hurt. As the count now 2-2 to the Phillies' third baseman, Michael Franco. Bouncing ball back to the mound. Second base 1 on to first. Askin shall receive.
That was hilarious because Hoskins broke like he was going to go try to steal the base and then stopped.
So an easy 1-6-3 double play. Phillies are out of luck in the second.
fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. And by Delta Airlines.
Aren't many places more beautiful than Atlanta, Georgia in the springtime. An absolutely perfect evening for baseball. And the Braves and Phillies matching up in Game 3 head to the home half of the second inning. Nick Markakis, Kurt Suzuki, and Preston Tucker are coming up against Vince Velasquez. Nick is 4 for his last 24, so yes, he's cooled off a bit. And hitless in this series against Philadelphia, a club that he has tormented all last season, and of course the first 3-gamer here in Atlanta. Now back, it's 0-2. And 2. And right into the shift. That'll be easy. Markakis is retired, 1 out. That's a 6-3 put out, even with Crawford on the first base side of the second base bag. And here's Kurt Suzuki.
I think Don Sutton just passed out next door.
Why?
That ball probably had a scuff on it. Velasquez threw it out.
Oh,
he wanted a new baseball.
Yeah, I didn't notice it, or I'd have been right there with him.
Kurt's up for the 34th time this year for Atlanta, hitting .273. Interesting note for Suzuki. He's only struck out once in his first 33 times to the plate this season. No, he can hit a fastball. He figures to see a few of them from Velasquez tonight. No shift on for Kurt. They play him pretty much straight up. And the way the game's played now defensively, you're almost surprised not to see some sort of a shift.
Yeah, you look down and go, wow, what are they doing with the players all over the field?
Where they're supposed to be.
Uh-huh.
1 ball, 1 strike. Tucker on deck. Scoreless game. The pitch from Velasquez. He is popped up. Crawford drifts back, and he has all the time in the world to make that play. 2 out. And here's Tucker. Interesting note on Preston Tucker, who has 13 RBIs. Won't apply here as he bats in the second inning, but he's been a quick strike artist. 8 of his 13 RBIs have come in the first inning for Atlanta. 6 of them thanks to a couple of 3-run homers. The Phillies do shift for him. Swing and a miss. Same spot, same result.
Preston, one of the few guys that does not use a batting glove, let alone 2. George Brett never used batting gloves either. He said it affected his feel for the bat, and he wanted to be able to feel the bat. Of course, he liked pine tar too.
Yes, he did.
No balls, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. Velasquez likes that high fastball. He's got a couple of strikeouts, and we head to the 3rd.
the Braves pick up Joey Bats. That's right, Jose Bautista, 37 years old. This is our Georgia lottery, hitting the jackpot. 37, 14 MLB seasons. How about the 272 home runs since 2010? Tied for the most in Major League Baseball. Last year, he only hit 203, but he hit 23 home runs. That's outstanding, and 27 doubles. Again, not too shabby. Braves GM Alex Anthopoulos said, if there's one thing I've learned, you do not bet against Jose Bautista. He showed up today in great shape. It'll be interesting to see this story play out. Chip and Joe.
Yeah, 6 o'clock this morning down in Florida. He was ready to go for their examinations and testing.
You guys surprised he was on the market this long, that some other major league team hadn't picked him up until the Braves came a-calling?
I am not. And I say this because of his age. He probably wanted a multi-year deal, and maybe teams weren't willing to go there. I'm speculating on that.
I would agree with that.
And it is such a fascinating sign for the Braves. I mean, this is almost a no-brainer kind of contract to sign. There's very little risk for the Braves. If Bautista can't play third base, then there's no major league obligation to pay him or bring him up to the Atlanta organization. But if he does, a right-handed bat in the middle of his lineup, a guy who can be a placeholder at third base until Camargo comes up here and plays regularly, or Austin Riley is ready, or a valuable piece off the bench for you. So that part of it's very, very exciting. The other question I think everybody has is, Bautista was a failed third baseman for the most part. He moved to the outfield and then blossomed as a hitter. Can he make that transition at 37 back to the infield at this level and do it with Atlanta?
We're about to find out.
Lined over short by Andrew Knapp. And he's got a leadoff single to start the Phillies third. Knapp doesn't have many hits this year, but he's got 2 in this series. And McCarthy back to the stretch for the second straight inning.
Well, the cool thing is nobody knows Jose Bautista better than Alex Anthopoulos. And so there had to be a comfort level there for Jose to hear what he was hearing from Alex and realize that this could be a place that he could have a good time and be on a good ball club.
A strike to Velasquez, the Phillies pitcher, batting 8th for the second straight game. Nothing in 1 your count. Velasquez 2 for 4 this year. Bunts that off Suzuki. No balls, 2 strikes. Well, that does tell you, with regards to Bautista, how much he wants to play. A player of his stature, all he's accomplished in the game, he's willing to show up at 6 a.m. for workouts and exams and all that. Like to hear it. 0-2 pitch. Velasquez tried to back out of the way, and he bunted that before the ball hit him. And he's retired on strikes. That's number 3 for McCarthy, 1 out. And here's Crawford. Phillies like Crawford hitting ninth because of his speed. He and Hernandez then become tandem, if you will, in quotes, leadoff hitters. Crawford's done good work on this road trip for the Phillies. 5 for 12 after a very slow start. He's batting 195 now, and he's down a strike.
High expectations for this young man, and off to a slow start, maybe because of that. When they trade a player of the quality of Freddie Galvis and you're supposed to take his place, man, that's tough. He's not the first player that's happened to. in baseball, but it sure is a lot of weight to carry around trying to fill the shoes of a terrific player before you.
And certainly in a city like Philly as well.
Ooh, yeah.
That adds a little bit more.
No balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. Up and away. It's now 1-2. Cesar Hernandez waits on deck, barring another double play. Asked for one in the second. I'll beg for one right here, too.
Why not?
I just thought it was hilarious that Hoskins could have kept running and avoided the double play, but stopped and went back.
Yeah, I think he got afraid that he left so early that Mac was going to step off.
Mm-hmm.
Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. 4 strikeouts from McCarthy.
Good hook.
And right now the Phillies are wishing it was McCarthy's right shoulder and not his left that was bothering him, because he's dealing 4 strikeouts in 2 2/3 innings.
Dotting up the fastball when he needs to and going to that nasty curveball.
He froze Hernandez to start the game, and he froze him again with strike 1 here.
When the deal went down with the Dodgers that brought McCarthy here, I heard from an old teammate and good friend, Rick Honeycutt, the pitching coach, longtime pitching coach for the Dodgers, and he was really saying some good things about Brandon, and he said he certainly should be able to help you guys, meaning the Braves.
Well, he certainly has. 2-0, 3.31 ERA to start the year.
I guess the big thing for him is just stay healthy, right?
Sure.
You bet. If he can do that, it's a nice veteran presence in the middle of your rotation.
I just love watching guys pitch. Throwing hard is great for me. 98, 99. That's exciting. See the radar gun popping. But guys that have good stuff and command of it on a pitch by pitch basis is really, really fun. And the chess match between pitcher and batter, instead of just raw power trying to overmatch people.
There are some guys in baseball that think that if you don't throw 95 or 96, you can't pitch in today's game.
Well, there's a few of them out there for sure.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And a little number. Brandon's got that. He's got an easy 3rd inning. Hernandez taps out, and the Phillies are done. Bottom of the order coming up for Atlanta. Another good one with the Phillies. No score. time for tonight's SunTrust Confidence Starts Here feature. And confidence for Dansby Swanson, fellas, started pretty much from the opening bell here in 2018.
There's no comparison, is there?
No.
And of course the numbers say that, but just the way he's playing, it reminds me a lot of when he first got called up 2 years ago, and how he was so energetic, making solid contact. He's really swinging it well.
One ball, no strikes for the Braves shortstop.
We've talked a lot about the adjustment he's made with his hands in his swing. And what I don't know, and what I need to ask Kevin or Dansby, is who originated that. You know, Dansby talked about changing some things, going back to some things he did in college. But I'm not sure who originated the idea of moving his hands more in front of his right shoulder.
Maybe it was him.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one. Obviously either Kevin or Dansby, one would suspect.
One ball, two strikes from Velasquez to Swanson. And did he go? He did. Swanson's rung up. He didn't think so. And Velasquez has his third strikeout of the game, one away.
Yes, he did.
Back-to-back strikeouts for the Phillies right-hander. Here's Flaherty. Ryan's got a 3-game hit streak working. And a former Philly this spring. No place for him on their roster. He was cut loose and the Braves picked him up, and boy, they're glad they did. Flaherty's hitting .354 for the season.
So he probably had some raised eyebrows about today's signing too.
Yeah. Well, how about Johan Camargo?
I was going to say there are a few guys that are wondering. It's all right. A little friendly competition.
One ball, no strikes. And found straight back. It's 1-1.
Johan here tonight after having a big day for Gwinnett this afternoon. He's already got 9 innings in. Somebody told me he had 3 hits.
And 2 for 4 last night as well. In a game started by Mike Soroka for Gwinnett. Soroka struck out 7 in 5 innings. As that one's fouled away. Luis Gohara made his first rehab start at Double-A. Had a rough first inning, gave up 5 runs, but then pitched 3 1/3 total for the Mississippi Braves yesterday.
Chan was just showing me the box score from Gwinnett today. Camargo played shortstop.
One ball, 2 strikes for Ryan Flaherty. And here it is. He went around. So a couple of check swing strikeouts for Velasquez. And one thing we know about watching Vince pitch, he's one of those prototypical get him early or you might not get him guys.
Exactly. And that is a hard slider. Saw it hit in the chalk. It was that far inside. And he's coming off a start, a 2-1 win at Tampa Bay, where he pitched into the 7th inning, only gave up 1 run, 1 walk, struck out 7.
Now back-to-back games for Velasquez of 6 or more innings and less than 1 earned run or equal to 1 earned run allowed. First time he's done that. So maybe he is coming into his own in 2018. Just what the Phillies were hoping. We'll head home after this game and get set for a series with the Pirates. And Jake Arrieta, I believe, gets the ball for them in game 1.
Just to back up what you said, Chip, about better get him early.
Yeah, but like I said, that could really throw a wrench in the sabermetrics, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he's getting better as the game goes on, but
talk about
you better get him out of there before the 3rd go round. What do you do?
Only giving up a 120 average. You got to get him out of there. Talk about confusion.
I've got a better idea. Start a middle reliever in the first inning and then bring him in and he'll roll. Now, I may not give up a run the whole game.
I can see why they like him, though. There's a lot to like. Pretty simple delivery, not a max effort guy. Ball comes out real good and got real good off speed stuff to go along with a live fastball.
2-2 for McCarthy, and belt high strike 3. Velasquez just struck out the side. He's got 5 punch outs through 3. McCarthy has 4 through 3. And we still have no score. Refreshing finish. Let's check out the Statcast data on Ender's remarkable home run saving catch.
It was a beautiful catch. Look how far he had to go. They're saying 117 feet. Catch probability 53%. I got news for you, Statcast people. He runs 117 feet, goes up over the fence to catch a ball and bring it back. It's a whole lot less than 50-50 he's going to make that play.
Well, maybe that's factoring in that Ender's so good.
Could
they expect him to make it.
Couple of gold gloves. What a catch. And that's why we're scoreless as the Phillies come up for the 4th inning. McCarthy made the last out in the home third, so took him a couple of extra moments to get ready for his second trip through the Phillies batting order. It was Kingery who hit that ball, and he'll lead things off for the Phillies. When I see Scott take his stance in the batter's box and we get a close-up look at him, the first look-alike face that comes to mind for me, imagine that guy wearing a blue helmet with an orange NY on it. How about a young David Wright facially?
I see that a little bit.
Line drive into center. Look at Ender's jump. Kingery's robbed twice. One away.
Better go back and come up with a better plan, hit it at somebody else.
What did Troy Gloss say at the plate? I'm a producer, not a director. All I can do is hit the ball. I can't always tell you where it's going to go. Kingery's hit it hard twice, has nothing to show for it. Here's Herrera. He bounced out to first in the first. And in for a strike. Braves trying to take another home series against the Phillies. They took 2 out of 3 in the season opening set. And we'll welcome the Mets here tomorrow night. Don't know who will pitch for the Braves now that Anibal Sanchez hurt himself. And if you missed that news, Anibal was running sprints in short right field and went down in a heap and had to be carted off the field today. He was placed on the disabled list with a right hamstring issue.
Well, he never got up.
Right. They put an air cast on his leg.
Yeah, he was lying there forever.
And then had the cart assist him to the locker room and beyond. And we hope Anibal will be back real soon. He was pitching great for the Braves. No balls, 2 strikes. And hit the other way. What a stop, Flaherty. Long throw right on the money and in time. Herrera dives and he's out number 2.
That ball was squibbing away from him too. It had kind of a slicing spin on it. Nice play. A little extra on that throw too, and had to.
Yeah, it was a nice play.
Herrera very fortunate there. He didn't hurt himself.
McCarthy set down 5 straight. Here's Hoskins. Let's see if Brandon has another game plan. Rhys is 8 for 17 in the series, and he hits one right at Ender, and that ball knuckled at the last moment.
That's a good game plan. Hit it to that guy.
Yeah, works almost every time. 3 up, 3 down. Top of the order is coming up. A 7-pitch inning for McCarthy. Still no score. Top of the order in the bottom of the 4th inning. It starts with Ender Inciarte, who's our AARP Take On Today feature.
Wonderful recent work against the Phillies. 21 out of 22. Already with a base hit tonight. In fact, the only hit for the Braves first time through the order.
Velasquez has struck out 5 men, 4 in a row. And missed outside there. 1 ball, no strikes. Trying to go 6-3 at home, 7-5 against the East, and 10-7 overall. And Velasquez missed upstairs, and quickly he's behind. 3 balls, no strikes. All help appreciated from Velasquez, who has only walked 4 men in 18 1/3 innings this year. Ender's choked up. made him throw a strike. Ender had 3 5-hit games last year. He had one against the Phillies. Popped him up. And Franco, the Lone Ranger on the left side of the diamond at the cut of the infield grass, backs up a step or two. And Velasquez has set down 9 in a row. And here's Ozzie. Tough luck hitting for Albies. And Ender at first in the first. Inciarte took off running, and Ozzie hit a low line drive.
You know what I just thought of was Ozzie hit a triple off him his first at bat the last time the Braves saw him, and it hit the bag, remember, and rolled down into the corner. He almost did it again.
1 ball, no strikes to the youngest active player in the major leagues, Ozzie Albies. Pulls that one foul. Ozzie born January 7th, 1997. He leads the National League with 14 extra base hits. Started the night with a .310 batting average. He's come a long way after a 2 for 20 start at the plate. Off his knuckles, out of play.
I'll say it was. When you can do that, when you can pitch inside that way, that effectively, and cause the hitters to try and just fight it off. And they've got to respect that fastball. That's what's making his back foot slider to these left-handed hitters work so well. They're starting their swing early.
Saw that list of big league leaders with extra base hits. The name that was on there was Mookie Betts. He had a 3-homer game yesterday. Already his third 3-homer game in his major league career. A swing and a miss. Albies checks if it was a strike. It was. And he's out number 2. Mookie Betts has 3 3-homer games. Babe Ruth and Henry Aaron combined for 3-homer games in their careers.
No kidding.
The all-time leader is Sammy Sosa, who had 6 such games.
Well, the Red Sox clobbered the Red Hot Angels too.
Ohtani was the starting pitcher and had to leave with a blister problem.
Yeah, they blistered him all right.
You bet. So here's Freeman. Freddie took strike 3 in his first look at Velasquez. Pretty rare to see Freeman go without a hit in a series. And that takes care of that.
Well, they put everybody on the right side this time. They didn't even leave Franco over there at shortstop. They should have. But they accomplished what they really want out of this, and that is try to get Freddie to hit the ball the other way and not hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Yeah, just give up a single instead of a homer, or a potential homer, extra base hit. So mission accomplished, I guess.
So Markakis will hit. Nick grounded out to short his first time up. That started inning number 2. And Velasquez has to go back to the stretch for the first time since the first inning. Hits are even 2 apiece, no score. Strike 1 at the belt. Cardinals and Cubs were postponed again in Chicago today.
Cubs are going to have 20 doubleheaders somewhere along the way.
Nothing in 1. That just missed. Colorado beaten in Pittsburgh 10-2 today. Milwaukee shut out Cincinnati 2-0. I believe it was Eric Thames hitting a game-deciding homer in that one. A year to the day after he did the exact same thing in a 2-0 Milwaukee win over Cincinnati.
I like that sign you showed us at Wrigley for the Cubs and Cardinals game.
Oh, across the street at Murphy's bleachers. 1 ball, 1 strike. It said Cubs and Cardinals sometime or something.
120 at 120 eventually.
Eventually, yes, right. Washington leads the Mets 3-2. That game's in the 5th inning in New York. Washington's trying to respond to a Mets sweep earlier in the week at the hands of the Metropolitans, who come here tomorrow night for 4 games.
So who will the Braves miss out of the 5?
We will miss Matz.
Matz.
Steven Matz. 1-2 pitch. Fought off. Harvey, Syndergaard, DeGrom, and Wheeler in that order. Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon. Then the Braves hit the road again. A long road trip. 4 games in Cincinnati, 3 in Philadelphia, then 3 in New York. And a quick pit stop at home, May 4th, 5th, and 6th against the Giants. And we do the Sunshine State Tour. Tampa Bay, Miami, back to Chicago for a makeup game, and then home for the Cubs May 15th. Broken bat.
If this keeps up and we have to play the Phillies every other series, we have like 60, 65 games against them this year.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of an unbalanced schedule than typical, but
Yes.
Well, we had the same problem with the Mets last year.
yeah.
Atlanta had 3 series in the first 6 weeks.
Yeah, it seems like for whatever reason the last couple of years you see the first 6 weeks of the year there's 2 teams that you're just tired of seeing, and then you don't see them again until September.
Yep. That'll be the case for Atlanta. Face the Phillies. Final 4 home games at SunTrust Park, September 20th through the 23rd. Then in Philadelphia for the final 3 games of the regular season. 1 ball, 2 strikes. New bat for Markakis. The pitch is lined over Hernandez's head and into right field. Freddie around first, or around second, on his way to third. Ball gets away, but no further advance. So a great at bat by Markakis, fighting off several nasty pitches from Velasquez. And Atlanta has a rally now, 1st and 3rd with 2 outs.
Went down and got that. And you're right, Chip. Good at bat.
Well, how about one in the dirt here? Or one in the happy zone for Kurt Suzuki, who popped out in his lone at bat. Braves have their first runner in scoring position tonight. Really struggled in this statistic last evening. They were 2 for 11 with runners at second or third base. A lot of missed opportunities. Braves left 12 on base, 8 at second or third. That's an area that was so good, Joe, in the first 9-10 games of the season. Since then, they've cooled collectively in these spots.
That's why I still think it's an underrated mark. And teams really go as their ability to hit with runners in scoring position go.
No balls and a strike. Swing, a high fly ball hammered toward left, but the park's going to hold it. It went straight up. It had the sound, but Suzuki just missed. He flies out to Kingery in deep left, and the Braves are out of luck in a scoreless 4th inning. Fifth inning. It's brought to you by Audi. Brandon McCarthy has set down 6 Phillies in order. He'll have Williams, Franco, and Knapp up in the top half of the inning. Brandon has struck out 4. He has allowed 2 hits, both singles. One of them erased on a Franco double play ball. An 88-mile-an-hour cutter was missed by Nick Williams. Strike 1. He took strike 3 back in the second inning. Ball 1, strike 1. Phillies have a lot of outfield options, don't they? Kingery, Herrera, Williams, Altair, Hoskins all play out there, so Kapler can mix and match to his heart's content. Tonight Williams gets the start, and now he's behind a ball and 2 strikes. Williams, one of 7 different players last year to hit their first career home run in a Phillies uniform. He hit 12 in 83 games. Part of that big deal that sent Cole Hamels and Jake Diekman to Texas. Williams, Jorge Alfaro, Alec Asher, Jared Eichhoff, Matt Harrison, and Jake Thompson, the all that came from the Lone Star State.
Rangers have really missed out on Jake Diekman too, because he was nasty. Terrific left-handed reliever, and he's been sick or hurt the whole time he's been with Texas. Or just about. Man, was he good with the Phillies.
First 3-ball count for McCarthy, and ball 4. Williams aboard to start the frame. Phillies like to swing the bats. We talked about that last night. This is a swing and miss team, one of the highest swing and miss percentages in the major leagues. They struck out 13 times in 10 innings last night. They've punched out 4 times through 4 innings tonight. So McCarthy can get a few more swings and misses here. At the bottom part of the plate, but called a ball.
Good pitch. Yeah, Williams laid off a couple pretty close ones too before eventually drawing a walk.
Two 2-0 to Franco. Good breaking ball. Franco, the first Philly third baseman to have back-to-back homer seasons totaling 20 or more since Scott Rowland. Finished with 24 homers, 76 RBIs, and a .230 batting average. It was rather surprising for the Phillies, as this one's hit too short. Second one, first 2. McCarthy gets some soft contact in his second double play ball. So Franco's been up twice. He's accounted for 4 outs.
No, Mac, don't do it.
You got to go teach these guys how to use the scuffed ball.
He's a veteran. He should know better. I'll have to talk to him about that.
Yeah, fans ask that all the time. If a pitched ball skips up in front of the plate, it's immediately thrown out of play. Why is a ball that's hit hard on a line drive on a 1-hop to the second baseman, say, and thrown onto first for an out, kept in play? It's scuffed nonetheless, isn't it?
I think in today's game it's thrown out far more than it ever was. I mean, a ball that was put in play in my day, that never got thrown out. If you bounced it up there, yeah, that one got thrown out of play, but the umpires don't have to throw it out of play anymore because the pitchers do.
Even to the extent that not so many years ago pitchers would want the catcher on the throw down to second to start an inning to short hop the throw into the second baseman and keep it in play.
We had one better than that.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you guys are tricky.
Our shortstop, Mr. Blauser.
So tricky.
Over third by Knapp, who's got a 2-for-2 night.
Yeah, Blauser would time it to where he had the beat up old infield ball that the first baseman was throwing around between innings. He'd have it in his glove. So when the catcher threw it down, he'd throw the good one back to the dugout and throw the bad one to the third baseman. And that's the one we would get. There are times I'd turn around and look at it and go, Blouse, come on, seriously? He'd just grin at you.
Yeah.
You made that baby sing, didn't you?
It had seams sticking out like it'd been on concrete. That's great.
Pitcher hitting eighth. Let's see if that helps McCarthy get out of a prolonged fifth inning. Velasquez struck out his only time up. There are all kinds of tricks for pitchers and catchers and infielders to mess with the baseball. Sometimes the old days, the catchers would sharpen the buckles on their catcher's gear and put a little gash in the side of the ball. Yadier Molina had an interesting one last year. That one gets away from Suzuki, and Knapp will move up 90 feet. On a pitch like that in the dirt, it bounced up, and Molina, one of the best blocking catchers in the game, looked down and the ball was actually stuck to his chest protector. It just hung there like it was velcroed to his chest. I don't know why that happened, but certainly defied the laws of gravity.
Just a sticky human night.
Must have been. Against the Cubs, the pitch. Now play by Velasquez. It's 1-2.
And here we go again with one of those innings where it seems harmless enough, a wild pitch, but it gets a guy into scoring position with the pitcher up there. This guy's got a couple of hits already. There's no easy out. Don't let that wild pitch lead to a run.
A base hit to center. Here comes Knapp around third. Ender comes up ready to fire. Throw to the plate's going to be off target. Velasquez to second on the throw to the plate. He helps himself with a 2-out hit. The wild pitch does hurt, and the Phillies lead 1-0.
And some real good base running too.
Yep. Another hanger.
Yeah, I don't know if it got crossed up there or if that was just a reaction to the ball not finishing where Kurt expected it to. But yeah, it was a hanger, good swing. I mean, credit to the pitcher. You know, you get those opportunities every now and then to try and help yourself. And like you said, Joe, he's not an automatic out up there, and that's the way it should be.
Third hit for Velasquez, and he enjoys a 1-0 lead. And now J.P. Crawford is up. Crawford struck out back in inning number 3.
Give Knapp some credit too. He was running real well for a catcher.
So back-to-back 2-out hits from Knapp and Velasquez. To the screen for J.P. Crawford. It's 0-2. Crawford's out of Long Beach, California. First-round pick by the Phillies in 2013. He's a cousin of former major leaguer Carl Crawford. He's so good with the Tampa Bay Rays.
If he could run anything like Carl, he's got it made. He could fly.
Crowd buzzing at the ballpark as the Braves trail by a run. 1-2 pitch is foul at first. Big lead by Velasquez at second. Here it comes. And a swing and a miss. Retires the side. A walk, a double play, a single, and a very costly wild pitch puts Velasquez and the Phillies up a run halfway through game 3.
Battery right outside SunTrust Park. Remember at the start of the season, the Mets were just red hot. They couldn't lose to anybody, and the Nats were so. Well, right now, Washington looking for a 3-game sweep in New York. 2 on top of the first. Ryan Zimmerman says, thank you very much, Mr. Mets. I'll go deep. 3-0 at that point. The Mets have come back for a pair, but Washington is up 3-2 and looking for a sweep of those Mets who have come back to reality, fellas.
They have, and they're running into a man that gives the Braves trouble. That's Tanner Roark, who's 7-2 lifetime against New York. The Braves know all about the trouble a team can have hitting that talented right-hander. We'll see what happens the rest of the way in that one. We'll hope to see the Braves come back in this one. They're down only 1. Vince Velasquez has done it all on the mound and at the plate. He leads 1-0 with Tucker, Swanson, and Flaherty coming up.
Struck him out on 3 fastballs last time around.
And that's taken downstairs. Velasquez is a guy that really believes in countering that launch angle phenomenon that we're seeing major league hitters employ to great advantage. There's the 1-0 pitch. He's got a good enough fastball to get guys to chase, and he wants to get guys to swing and miss up in the strike zone. They can't catch up to it. 6 strikeouts for him tonight. It's a man that averaged almost 10 strikeouts per 9 innings last year. He's on a similar pace in 2018.
That's a little bit like what Julio did a couple of nights ago. His fastball wasn't 95, but he was throwing it at the top of the zone, breaking that slider off down at the bottom of the zone.
Well, you can do that when you do that, right? You command your fastball bottom part of the zone, and you command your breaking ball down in the zone as well, or down out of the zone. Yeah, that now all of a sudden that hitter sees that fastball. It's a little bit up. It looks really good compared to those ones down, and as long as you get it above the belt, not much they can do with it.
Swing and a drive hammered down the line, but he pulled it. And that's into the second deck. That's a long way away from the plate. And now it's 2-2.
That was a 95 fastball. He was on that one.
See if he goes something slow away now after speeding him up there.
Knapp sets up outside, and he tried to paint the corner, didn't get the call. Full count. Velasquez was looking for the count. He wasn't checking to see how hard he threw that pitch. Got the 3-2 notification from Marty Foster. Now he's ready to go. And he just lost Tucker. Good start for Atlanta. Tying run aboard to start the 5th inning. Just the second time the Braves have put their leadoff man on.
Looked like one of the few times tonight where he tried to hump up with a little bit more effort. Pulled that front shoulder and missed.
Trying to throw it hard because they wanted it in, and he didn't want to make a mistake.
See, and that's where he, you know, I mean, I was always, at least for me, you always have that tendency when you're going in, you want to throw it harder and you grip it tighter and you whatever. And, you know, a lot of times you got to remind yourself, okay, look, I'm not trying to overpower it in there. I'm trying to sneak it in there. And that kind of keeps everything a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more under control.
Dansby was out on a check swing strikeout in the 3rd inning. And he pulls this one foul at 3rd. Smoked into left field. Stayed back on that curveball, and he hammered it. 2 on, nobody out.
Exactly right, Chip. Not only did he get a good curveball to hit, but he didn't commit his hands. Foot was down, but his hands were still back, and he had something left. That was pretty.
That guy learned so much, I'm sure, about the game of baseball, the business of baseball, about himself, about life last year.
And there's nothing wrong with going through a year where you struggle a little bit.
Well, I mean, it was more than struggle, though.
Well, no, for sure. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, you know, and that's what you want to see out of a guy is, okay, what did I learn? What can I do better? How am I going to apply it? You know, and all the while he didn't get down on himself. Just, you know, obviously went into this winter with a plan, or at least in spring training. And boy, he's executed it perfectly thus far.
Velasquez in some trouble, his worst spot of trouble, as that ball is hit high in the air, deep right center. It's long gone. And just like that, the former Philly Ryan Flaherty strikes again. A 3-run homer.
Amazing what a leadoff walk will do.
I can tell you firsthand, there's nothing better than that feeling against an old club that just let you go.
Yep.
And that was a no doubter, well above the bullpen.
So now Brandon McCarthy's been given a 2-run lead thanks to Ryan Flaherty's 3-run homer. His first as a Brave. It doubles his RBI total to 6. And Velasquez, who is dealing now, finds himself behind 2 runs.
First homer he's allowed.
So a ball and a strike for McCarthy. And that's right there, 1-2.
And that's where you kick yourself as a pitcher too. You go out, you get a big base hit for yourself. Come out the next inning with the bottom half of the order and you walk the leadoff guy.
McCarthy took strike 3. He'll sit down and hope NCRT and company can add to the lead. That's number 7 for Velasquez. 1 away.
I remember last year hearing about Velasquez being somewhat temperamental, that he could get down on himself at times. And with respect to that walk, he came on a pitch that he was, as you said, really trying to grip it too tight and throw it too hard, and that may have had an effect on him this inning.
Ender waited on that pitch and fouled it back. Strike 1. Braves try to send a message to the Phillies in their first 2 series. Atlanta took 2 out of 3 in the opening set. They lead in the rubber game tonight. Up the middle. Tricky bounce. Crawford backed up. The ball played him, and Ender's aboard with 1 out.
Hard hit.
See how that scored.
Should be a hit. I don't know if you're going to throw him out anyway.
You're right, Chip. Again, he's trying to play that hop and backing up so that he doesn't get an in-between hop. And he didn't get it.
It is a hit. Ender will take that. Hard to argue. Hard hit ball. Second hit of the night for Inciarte. Phillies bullpen stirring around in left. Are the wheels falling off the Velasquez wagon here? Strike 1.
That's where you got to slow things down a little bit. You know, like Joe said, if he's an emotional kid, I'm sure his emotions are, he's screaming at himself right now for letting this happen. Wants to try and put a stop to it, keep his team in the game, give it a chance. So you got to slow it down a little bit and get back to making good quality pitches and stop trying to overpower the ball.
Is that hard for you to learn?
Yes, because your natural tendency is, you know, you don't even think about the fact that you're not even thinking about what you're doing because you're so enraged with yourself that you've let this happen that you don't give yourself the time to rationalize, okay, what do I got to do? You're just focused so much on how mad you are.
And then I would imagine the next 2-3 hitters are a blur, and you look up and it's not 3-1, it's 6-1.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, exactly. It's like not only how did I get here, but you don't even know the sequence of pitches that you threw to get you to that point. You know, it's just you go completely brain dead, and you know you got to learn how to kind of channel that, slow it down, and you know really live in the moment and get back to, all right, what pitch do I want to make right here, and let's try and make it.
0-2 for Ozzie. Joe, is that something a hitter can sense on the mound?
I don't think so, unless you see a guy kind of pawing around on the mound, going to the rosin back, firing it to the ground. Then you realize you're in his head a little bit, or he's in his own head a little bit. But he's not making the pitches that he made the first 5 innings, first 4 innings.
Velasquez allowed 1 hit through 3 innings. The Braves had 2 hits in the 4th. They've got 3 hits in the 5th. The big blow of Ryan Flaherty, 3-run homer. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner goes. And Ozzie protects. And Ender will head back to first on the foul ball.
It's funny, beginning in the 3rd inning, the end of the 2nd, he struck out 5 of 6 batters he faced. And when he drove in that run at the top half of this inning, I thought, uh-oh.
I did too.
Yeah,
there's your run.
I didn't know if the Braves were going to get one off of him.
Yeah.
And this is a game that has really gone against the statistics for Velasquez.
Yeah.
423 first time through the order, opposing batting average. 182 the second time. Well, he's starting his 3rd time through, and the Braves have touched him for 3. After 3 unbelievably good innings. And a right field, another hit. Ender's going to go first to 3rd. This is what the Braves did a lot in the first 10-11 games, and it's fun to watch. 1st and 3rd for Freddie Freeman, as Ozzie Albies has his first hit of the night. And the Phillies brain trust pondering their options. Perhaps their pen will start to work.
Another guy who kept his hands back, let him work. You know, if any of the pitchers get in trouble, if you're in the Phillies bullpen, you better start playing catch, because you don't know when you're going to get the call.
Or if.
Yeah. But you just better be loose in case you got to come immediately in.
Well, let's see if Freddie can snap out of it. Maybe that soft single in the 4th inning that spoiled a shift will help him out here in the 5th inning. Freddie's 1 for 2. His first career hit. I should say his first hit in this series, his 4th career hit against Velasquez. And now Rick Kranitz, the Phillies pitching coach, will jog to the mound, and the bullpen will go to work. So Philadelphia will be charged a mound visit here. They have 4 left. The Braves have 6 left. If you keep track of such things. That was one big part of the offseason pace of play initiatives. I don't think we've really had the mound visit come into play in any way, shape, or form.
I don't either.
Where a team runs out. First and third for Freddie, 1 out. Down the right field line, and a 1-hopper into the seats.
I will say this though, Chuba, it hasn't come into play because they haven't used them up, and they haven't used them up because I think it has limited how many times a catcher goes to the mound.
Freddie's been awfully good with runners in scoring position. He's in a spot where a fly ball could get him an RBI. And RBIs have been tough to come by for the Braves first baseman. I think he has 1 RBI in the last week. His last came on the 14th.
Well, he's been really good in these situations, so hopefully that'll spark something for him.
He loves these spots.
2 balls and a strike. There's that high fastball.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was from Freddie's standpoint, because he was beaten on that swing very late on it.
Albies at first and CRT at third. Let's see the 2-2 pitch. It's low. Good eye. Freeman's drawn his share of walks, as you know. Dangerous count for Velasquez here. Freeman's walked 18 times.
That is a sign to throw over.
And Ozzie just got back.
And Ozzie cannot get picked off here. Even if you're going, and I expect him to be going 3-2, you can't get picked off here with 1 out and Freddie Freeman at the plate.
Phillies are checking to see if Albies got picked off. That would be a huge play if he were. Yeah, they're going to take a look at that. I think they might have gotten him. And that would dramatically change the tenor of this at bat, certainly the inning. If this call is overturned, Joe West.
This is one of those situations, it's like a hit and run play. You're coached and trained not to get picked off on a hit and run play. I don't know if there's enough to turn that around. But Ozzie had a big lead and he was leaning.
Crowd oohing and eyeing as they see the replay on the SunTrust Park video board in straightaway center. Joe West and Mark Rippinger also checking it out.
I think they got him. It looks like his hand moves before it gets to the base when he gets him on the elbow.
What you hope there is tie goes to the runner. Let's find out.
I'm going to go with one of those, not enough to overturn it. Maybe that's wishful thinking.
So let's go back to the mound visit thing, because I mean I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the answer to this. And I think they were talking about it a little in spring training, trying to iron out the kinks. So if a catcher goes out to talk strategy, i.e. we need to change the signs, does that count as a visit? Or
only if in the umpire's opinion the catcher got crossed up where they've got a real problem.
so if you think the second base runner is relaying signs, you can't go out there?
No, not without being charged.
So Ozzie is picked off, and that call is overturned. An excellent challenge by the Phillies, and a very costly base running mistake by Albies, perhaps, as Velasquez picks him off, and now Freeman hits with 2 outs and a 3-2 count.
That is a mistake you cannot make at any age.
The 3-2 is lined towards second. A sinking liner is handled by Hernandez, and just in case, the Phillies will throw it to first, and the inning is over. Ryan Flaherty has hit a 3-run homer. That turned the game around for Atlanta. We go to the 6th inning. Braves 3, Phillies 1. Summary brought to you by your local Chevy dealers.
Well, that was a rocket that Ryan Flaherty just put a charge into to give the Braves the lead, and a shame they didn't get an opportunity to add to it when they had 1st and 3rd and 1 out.
Well, let's see if McCarthy can keep up his excellent work. He's got the top of the order coming up. Hernandez, Kingery, and Herrera. He starts his 3rd trip through the Phillies lineup card. He's allowed a run, 4 hits. And a bunt try is fouled by Hernandez, who got down the line last night in 3.7 seconds on his bunt base hit. In the 10th inning, it was his 499th major league hit. Slashed to the left side. Tucker gives chase, but he won't have a play. And Brandon's ahead 0-2. Just 73 pitches for McCarthy so far. 52 strikes, 21 balls. He's walked only 1 man and has whiffed 5. Corner again, didn't get it. 1-2.
Bottom of the 5th gave him a little breather.
Hernandez won't go quietly here. Still 2-2.
One of the things that you were talking about, how you love watching him pitch, love watching Anibal Sanchez pitch, is that they don't put the pitch in the same place with the same velocity every time.
Tried that spot twice, didn't get it.
He got a called 3rd strike on him right there in the 1st inning. That's why.
So from 0-2 to a full count for Hernandez, who's got a pine tar Leighton batting helmet. Swing and a miss. Suzuki applies the tag. Nice comeback for McCarthy. Strikeout number 6.
What was that?
Looked like maybe a changeup, or took a little something off the fastball.
I thought it was a lot lower than it was.
Yeah, it's got sinker spin on it, maybe, or changeup spin. Let's see the velocity.
Ender, get ready. Here's Kingery.
I think he's going to try somebody else this time.
One of the best catches in the young history of SunTrust Park, turned in by Ender Inciarte, with Kingery up as the 2nd hitter of the night. Ender went sprinting to the left center field wall, timed his leap perfectly, got his glove up over the fence and brought it back to rob Kingery of a solo home run. There's a strike. Kingery started games at 2nd base, 3rd base, shortstop, left field, and right field.
He's going to be a really good player. He's strong. He's got good hands in his swing. He's athletic.
Kurt's trying to frame those pitches, but they're just off the plate. Double Herrera's next. Rhys Hoskins lurking as well. As McCarthy readies with a 3-1 pitch, and he walks Kingery, his 2nd free pass in as many innings, and Herrera's coming up representing the tying run.
Another one of the keys tonight for McCarthy was to try to pitch deep in the ball game and save the bullpen. Everybody doing a little stretching down there now, but they'd really love to get him through the 6th inning at least. Pitch count's very manageable. You could use another one of those double plays.
Franco's hitting 2 of them. Herrera has yet to do so. He was robbed by Flaherty, who handled a hot smash back in the 4th. Ball 1. Phillies got Herrera from the Texas Rangers in the Rule 5 draft. That was after the 2014 season. As a Rule 5 player in 2015, Herrera hit .297, racked up 147 hits, hit 8 homers, drove in 41, and stole 16 bases. Quite a find for them.
Marty Foster had to remind himself to mark that down, that trip to the mound.
Don't want Hoskins to hit with 2 guys on. He's on deck. 2 balls, no strikes for Herrera.
He was trying to make it 3-2 on this week. Or 3-3, sorry.
Brandon's longest outing this year, 6 innings in Colorado. He's gone 5 1/3 so far tonight. Down the left field line into the seats, 2-2. Thing about McCarthy is he'll give up a few hard hit balls, but you look at his exit velocity for a pitcher, he misses the sweet spot of the bat an awful lot. And I think that goes to Joe's point. Moves the ball in, out, up, down, changes speeds.
Well, if you're constantly changing speeds, changing locations, you can throw all your pitches in different locations. Makes it hard for guys to square you up.
Ground ball, Ozzie dives, it's off the heel of his glove and into shallow center. That's trouble. Here comes Kingery around third. He's going to stop, and Ender's going to jog the ball into the center of the diamond, and the Phillies are in business. First and third, 1 out. Tough break for Ozzie. He got there but couldn't corral it, and it ricocheted away, and Kingery sauntered to third base.
Yeah, I was like you, Tommy. I thought for a second Kingery might score.
So Brian Snitker's on his way out. I don't know if he wants to see McCarthy face Hoskins a third time, and he's going to go get the Atlanta right-hander after a job very well done. 5 1/3 innings of 1-run ball. The game in the hands of the Braves bullpen. It's Rhys Hoskins coming up. We'll see how it works out after the break.
Ford dealer, the Georgia Lottery, and by the All-South Highway Safety Team. The All-South Highway Safety Team reminds you to play it safe by always wearing your seatbelt.
3-1 Atlanta. The Braves trying to chop down the Phillies in game 3. It's Rhys Hoskins for Philadelphia. Shane Carl on in relief.
8th game for Shane, and watching the bullpen scurry around, he had to hurry to get loose to come in, but he got his full complement of pitches to warm up on this mound.
Hoskins has singled and lined out, and Carl got a corner there. Strike 1. Hopefully the rest of the way the Braves relief corps can throw strikes. No balls and 1 strike here. And that's right there. Hoskins took it.
Doubled up on the slider.
Brian Snitker after the game last night was talking, just as Tom and Joe were, about way too many walks by the relievers last night. 6 of them over the final 5 innings. 4 double plays helped bail the Braves out early in the game, but they couldn't overcome it in the 10th. And Hoskins didn't chase that. Good try. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, good pitch. Good try. Nice block. Now you got to decide, you want to try and make your out pitch here, or you're going to throw something to get him off what you want your out pitch to be. You want to try and go another slider out there, or try and take a shot at moving them off the plate in before they go back out. I'm going to go change up.
1st and 3rd, 1 out. Here it is. Did he go? He did not.
It's a good pitch. Change up in. I love it.
Hoskins has struck out 15 times in 49 at bats. He also has 14 walks. One of 4 Phillies in double digits in RBIs. Now the 2-2 instead to first.
Now maybe Herrera will return the favor here and get picked off with their cleanup hitter up.
Shane's ready. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's that plate coverage again.
And it was a good pitch. Well, we talked about this the opening series of the season. This is a solid team. They've got some young players, but they're good players. And if their pitching holds together.
Driven down the right field line. That ball is slicing into the seats.
If their pitching can hold together and their bullpen does just a decent job, they're going to be tough.
And they've gotten Jake Arrieta to help bolster their rotation. They're still without Neshek and Tommy Hunter, who they signed to bolster their bullpen. A bullpen which has been outstanding so far this season. The only question for the Phillies is, on paper, they haven't played the toughest of schedules and won't in their first 43. In fact, the Phillies only have 6 games against teams that finished above 500 last year in their first 43 on the schedule in 2018. Say of that what you will, but what a tremendous opportunity it gives Philadelphia to build a cushion as this team grows together under Gabe Kapler, who's learning the major league ropes on the job too. Hoskins putting up a fight here. Pitch number 8 is about to be made. Herrera leads, not going. Swing and a miss. What a pitch. That ball was diving and darting down and in, and Hoskins couldn't catch up. And a big first batter retired for Shane Carl.
Another changeup. I love it. That is an awesome pitch, particularly for a guy who you have to keep honest inside, but is so good on the fastball in. Hitters are so geared for everything in being hard. If you can locate that changeup anywhere near that inner corner, 90% of the time you're going to get that swing right there. If they do hit it, they're going to hit it a mile foul, and so what? That's such a good pitch.
That was beauty.
Here's Nick Williams with 2 outs. It took you a while to come up with that sequence, or come up with, maybe not be the right analogy, but to use that sequence as a starting pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, because it was the same thing, you know. I fell into the same things that a lot of people fall into, is that, no, you can't do that. You know, I couldn't throw my changeup to lefties. I was like, okay, well, I'm getting my brains bashed in by lefties. Why can't I throw it? It's my best pitch. So you get comfortable with it over there, and then the next step, like I say, is, okay, well, if I can throw it over there to a lefty, what if I throw it in the same spot to a righty? You know, I mean, if I get it in there, like I say, worst case scenario, if they square it up, they can't keep it fair. So, you know, like I said, it's one of those things. All right, well, let me try it. And, you know, had some decent success with it right off the bat. And it's like, okay, this might be a pretty good weapon.
Downstairs for Williams. 2 balls and a strike.
I talked to a veteran pitcher one time years ago who said 0-1 he loved to throw a pitch that he knew the hitter would yank foul. You know, something soft and up, and then maybe that they would turn on and yank foul and make it 0-2.
Yep.
He said he might hit it 9 miles foul.
Yeah, but so what?
But it's 0-2.
Little cue shot. Carl's got it. Bare hand. Fires to first, and what a job.
Great job.
He struck out Hoskins on a changeup and then got Williams to hit it right off the end of the bat. And the Phillies are out of luck in the 6th. No doubt. No doubt. 88 pitches for Brandon McCarthy over 5 1/3 innings. As Nick Markakis leads off for Atlanta. Nick's 1 for 2. Velasquez back out there for Philadelphia. He's due up 3rd when the Phillies hit in the 7th inning. Braves have done good work against him the last 2 innings, including the Flaherty 3-run rocket. It was a no doubt homer to put Atlanta in front. Joe's keys for McCarthy: save the pen and get through the 1st inning. By and large, I think he's done both of those real well tonight.
What a great job by Carl. Shane Carl. Outstanding.
The strikeout of Hoskins, and then Williams, the weak contact, back to the mound. And now the Braves look to add to the 2-run advantage. They've out-hit the Phillies 7-5. And Nick pops it out of play, foul. It's into the seats. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Dubre Ramos begins to loosen up in the Phillies pen.
Mets have come back to take the lead over Washington now. 6-4 New York. That game's late at Citi Field. As Velasquez brings home the 2-2 pitch. And Nick spoiled that. Don't know who will start for Atlanta tomorrow night. If you are just joining us, Anibal Sanchez, before the game today, was working out on the field running sprints, injured his hamstring, had to be carted off the field, and was immediately placed on the 10-day disabled list by the Braves. Jose Ramirez placed on the disabled list with right shoulder inflammation. Jesse Biddle was called up from Gwinnett. Johan Camargo was called up from Gwinnett. Both of them, I believe, are here. Downstairs, full count. So Sanchez was supposed to start against Matt Harvey in game 1. We'll see how tonight's game unfolds, and I'm sure on Braves Live, Paul Bird in the Atlanta locker room will get the skinny on who will open up the series here tomorrow night. 3-2 pitch is popped up, and Hernandez in the shift can mosey down the right field line. He'll make the play in foul ground. Markakis retired, 1 out.
So demoralizing for Anibal because he had pitched so well in his 2 starts and was looking forward to this one coming up with the Mets. The Braves were too. I mean, he's been a solid addition.
So with 1 out, Kurt Suzuki's coming up. Speaking of coming up, stay tuned for the middle of the 7th. It's The Stretch presented by Advance Auto Parts.
Yeah, no injuries are good, obviously, and there's never a good time, but it just seems to hit you a little bit more or a little bit harder when it's a guy going through what Anibel's gone through and doing what he's done so far this year. You just hate to see that happen.
And as everybody kept saying too, he was healthy last year. He went through a tough season. He was battling injuries. This year he was feeling good.
1 ball, no strikes. Suzuki digs in and takes one inside. Velasquez has made 1 big mistake, and Flaherty didn't miss it. Off the end of the bat and out of play.
Well, they had a wild game in Oakland today. Oakland and the White Sox. White Sox got a run in the top of the 9th to tie the game at 11. Oakland got a run in the bottom of the 14th to win at 12-11.
Yeah, I was watching a little bit of that game downstairs, and it was 6-4 in the top of the 3rd inning, and they've been playing for about 2 hours.
Oh my goodness. 2-1 pitch is pulled out of play. Cleveland and Minnesota playing at Hiram Bithorn Stadium in San Juan again tonight. Boy, the video and the highlights of that ballpark in San Juan were just awesome, weren't they? And the joy of Francisco Lindor rounding the bases after his emotional home run. Great theater. The pitch. Suzuki, another opportunity now as he stays alive.
Well, they love their baseball and they're very proud of their own players. And they know how the game's supposed to be played. Very appreciative.
Base is empty, 1 out. Suzuki putting up a fight here. The pitch. And taken low. This is a good at bat for Kurt.
Good take there.
Velasquez batting 8th in the order will be due up 3rd in the 7th. He's approaching 100 pitches. They'd love for him to get all the way through this inning.
The payoff. Hit high in the air to left, but no carry to it. Kingery is in and is there. 2 outs. Well, we have a moment. Want to send along a happy anniversary to arguably the greatest voice ever to broadcast a major league game. On this date in baseball history, Vin Scully broadcast his first major league game in 1950. A 9-1 loss by the Dodgers to the Phillies at Old Shibe Park. So, Mr. Scully, wishing you and your family all the best. And we miss seeing you when we see the Dodgers. Here's Preston Tucker. He got the 5th inning started with a walk. He'll swing at the first one here and ground out to first. And Velasquez is done.
To your point, Tom, 5 hours, 48 minutes.
Oh,
time of game today in Oakland.
fellas, you were just talking about that marathon out in Oakland. Here is how it ended with our T-Mobile Built for Baseball update. Bases loaded for Matt Olson, and he goes the opposite way off the wall to plate the game winner. You talked about the length of this game. You want to know why it was so long? 33 hits and 18 walks the two teams combined for. No wonder why it almost went 6 hours, fellas.
18 walks.
Yeah, the 18 walks by themselves will take an hour and a half.
I've got one word to describe that. You ready? Yuck.
Yes.
Peter Borges takes over for Atlanta in left. And Michael Franco leads off for the Phillies. He's hitting 2 double plays. He can't do that here. He's leading off the inning. And a pop fly out of play. Steve, right one. Franco entered action tonight, 3rd in the majors in RBIs with 17. 16 of them have come in the last 9 games. So after a slow start, Franco is heating up. But he's on the 8 ball here. No balls, 2 strikes. Little tapper that's going to hug the line for a moment, but stay foul. It's still 0-2. Franco, Knapp, and then the pitcher's spot. Three runs, 7 hits for the Braves, a run, 5 hits for the Phillies. That was a late swing. How did he make contact?
Yeah, but he's got a good fastball. That was 96 riding in on him. He's a good fastball hitter. Shane's doing a good job of mixing his pitches as he did to Hoskins with that changeup that got him down and in.
Downstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 is chopped foul at 3rd. Good battle here with Michael Franco here. The 1-2 pitch. Shane working deliberately. Here it is. Oh boy. Good pitch.
Just missed. Good takes.
But it was off the plate. And now a 3-2. And he lost him. So a good take by Franco. An excellent at bat. Fouled off several pitches to keep the time up here in the 7th alive. That brings the tying run to the plate. Andrew Knapp, who's 2 for 2 with 2 singles and has scored the lone Phillies run. Knapp entered play tonight hitting a .192. He had 4 career hits against the Braves entering this game. 2 more tonight. So Carl with a walk. Let's hope that doesn't cost the Braves pen here in a 2-run game. And a good fastball fouled back. Ground ball hit toward Ozzie. He boots it. So the Phillies have runners first and third. Double play ball couldn't be handled by Albies, who had a ball pop out of his glove earlier in the game. And now the door open for Philadelphia. Pitcher spot due next. And Atlanta's got trouble afoot here. First and third, nobody out.
He overran this ball. It'll be an E4. And he's trying to feel the ball off his right foot. Either that or the ball took a funny hop on him.
So we mentioned Carlos Santana not getting a start for the Phillies. But what a nice card for Gabe Kapler to play right here. Switch hitting first baseman with plenty of power is going to hit for Velasquez.
Tough night for Ozzie.
Who also got picked off at first base. So here's Santana. And a check swing strike. Forget the batting average for Santana at this point. He's hitting only 136. This guy's a tough out despite that low average to start the year. And he can hit him a country mile if you're not careful. Ground ball, maybe a redeemer. There's one. There's two. So Franco scores on the double play ball. No RBI for Santana. And it's now a 3-2 Atlanta game.
Take that.
Yeah, that's a nice trade.
So the leadoff walk comes home to roost. 3-2 for J.P. Crawford, who has struck out swinging twice. Breaking ball, a strike. We'll see if Santana remains in the game. I would assume he would. As good as he is defensively in a close game. In the Atlanta seventh, Swanson, Flaherty, and then the pitcher spot coming up. Velasquez gave up 3 runs in 6 innings, 7 hits, 7 strikeouts, a walk and a homer. Right now he's on the short end of a 1-run decision. Braves won 2-1 in the opener, lost 5-1 last night, lead 3-2 in game 3. Swing and a miss. Carl finishes with a flourish. The leadoff walk brings the Phillies to within a run. Another good ball game at the stretch. 3-2 your score. Speaking of the stretch, let's send it out to Jerome. The stretch presented by Advance Auto Parts. Action around the big leagues. More hot and heavy action here in Atlanta after the stretch. Braves lead 3-2, and the Phillies have wholesale changes defensively as Dansby Swanson strides to the plate, looking to get a rally started for Atlanta. Rhys Hoskins, with his defensive card in his back pocket, moves from first to left. Edubray Ramos, as you see, is on the mound. Kingery moves from left to short, and Carlos Santana does stay in the game at first base. And Ramos delivers a strike. Phillies' pen has been excellent this year. 6 wins, 3 losses, a 3.09 ERA. Ramos, the first out of the pen tonight. There's one question I have is, maybe it's kind of skewed by the early days of the season when you take care of your starting pitchers to a certain degree. Phillies' pen's averaging 3 2/3 innings pitched per game. Is that a high rate, or is that the state of the game as we now know it?
I think it's both.
Now to play foul. We'll get a boost, you would think, from Jake Arrieta when he's geared up and in mid-season form. He can pitch deep into games. Tonight, Velasquez went 6 for the Phillies. Edubray Ramos has Swanson behind in the count. A ball and 2 strikes. Dansby singled and scored ahead of Flaherty's home run. That gave the Braves a 3-1 lead. Laid off.
Take a look at these numbers for their pitching staff. The last 11 games that included that 6-game winning streak. Both their starters, 2.78 ERA, and their bullpen, an awesome 1.21 ERA, have really gotten it done. They haven't had to score a ton of runs.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And Dansby fought it off. The Brave shortstop tonight, looking for his 9th multi-hit game. Ozzie Albies has 8 as well. So excellent production up the middle for the Brave shortstop and second baseman. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that's a pitch that last year he swings and misses and takes a right turn.
Agreed. Spoiled it.
Pitch number 7 coming from Ramos. And a good at bat continues. Michael Franco was rewarded with a long at bat in the 7th. Let's see if Dansby can do the same.
Ramos throws hard. He's got a good fastball, pretty much fastball, slider, and a rare changeup.
Hey, Johan Camargo is here. And looks like he's going to pinch hit for Carl. He's riding a nice hot streak at the plate. The pitch. Swing and a drive. Belted to left. What an at bat for Swanson. Off the facade of the second deck.
Remember when I've been telling you about he still can react and turn on the ball without having to try to pull the ball? This is a perfect example of it. And boy, did the ball jump. Slider away, slider away, slider away, fastball up and in, react, bang.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Long way. You bet it did. Dansby's second homer, his first since The series in Colorado against Kyle Freeland. And the Braves now have a little more breathing room at 4-2. So the Braves have hit 2 homers tonight. They usually win when they hit a homer. I think the Braves are 8-1 so far when they hit one out of the park. Ryan Flaherty gave the Braves a lead in the 5th inning with our Yellowwood brand bringing the lumber. Heroics.
Against his club that he was in spring training with, 4 extra base hits, 6 runs scored, 10 for 22 against him. Hello, payback.
1 ball, 1 strike. That one skipped up there. Nice stop. It's 2-1. I would imagine, Joe, hitters love seeing guys that they play with a lot. And I would imagine pitchers hate it. Absolutely hate it.
No, you feel like they know everything you're going to do, which is not good.
Little number hit slowly towards second, and the peg to first in time. 1 in, 1 out. And look who's coming up. After Dansby's home run with 1 out, it's going to be Johan Camargo. Everybody was looking forward to seeing Johan get a crack at third base coming out of spring training, but an oblique and back problem sidelined him, and he's just now coming back. The guys, he's coming back on a very nice hot streak at the plate down at Gwinnett. Johan hit .299 in 82 games last year. He hit 4 homers. But he's gotten a lot bigger, a lot stronger this offseason, playing winter ball.
3 for 5 today with a double. Scored a couple of runs, drove in a run.
And slashed out of play.
You know, the injury to Sanchez occurred when the pitchers were doing their conditioning work, and that was around 4 o'clock today, something like that. So they had to hustle to get in touch with Gwinnett and get Johan here.
Up and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Johan is a switch hitter. 24 years young. He won't be 25 until December. Good take. 2-2. Johan started 6 games at second base last year, 23 games at shortstop, and 30 games at third. He can play them all. Ramos ready. The pitch. And a swing and a miss. Camargo's down on strikes. 2 outs. Two-hit night for Ender Inciarte in 3 trips, 2 singles, 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 5th. That gives him 6 hits in this series against the Phillies. He always hits the Phillies well. A lifetime .322 average. Broke his bat. Another chance for Hernandez, and that'll be the inning. Dansby Swanson with a great 8-pitch at bat, fouled off some nasty sliders, then turned on a fastball and cranked his 2nd home run. We are through 7 in Atlanta. The Braves have a 2-run lead. 4-2 your score. Baseball history brought to you by Geico. The future Hall of Famer was put on the DL for the very first time in his 22-year career thanks to an ailing hamstring. 17 of 22 years with the Braves. You'd go on to win 305 games. Went on to win your 305th game in 2008, which of course cemented your place in Cooperstown. And all of Braves country wants to know, how do the hamstrings feel tonight?
So long as I don't go out and run any sprints, they're just great.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You know, that is a remarkable accomplishment. And I know it's something that you and Greg and John talked about a lot and took a great deal of pride in, the responsibility of taking the ball every fifth day, even when you maybe felt 75%.
No, there were a lot of days where you were less than 100%. But yeah, I mean, that was kind of our mentality. It's our day to pitch, and you know, you're going to have to drag us out of there for us to not go out there and pitch. But you know, it was it was a little bit of a badge of honor. There are a few times where I probably went out there and I probably shouldn't have, but that was just the way it was.
Well, Jeff Porter has told me more than once that if people had any idea about what kind of shape you guys were in on some occasions and went out there, that they would be shocked. And I remember you pitching with a broken rib at one point too.
Yeah, that wasn't my smartest decision.
Ozzie loads up, almost took too much time to get Cesar Hernandez, but Dan Winkler on in relief gets his first man, one man down. Did Jeff have any words of wisdom for you when he came to get you when you had the hamstring problem? Did he say,
you know, Porter, he come, what's going on, Bull? I said, well, I think I just felt something pop, and I'm guessing that's not good. He said, yeah, no, Bull, we're probably going to get you out of here.
Buddy Rowe, let's go.
Let's go.
This Kingery digs in.
And I almost made my next start. They didn't put me on the DL right away. And I came to the ballpark the next day before I was going to pitch. And I was trying like heck to hide it. And I had a little bit of blood that started to pool at the bottom of my hamstring. And I was trying to hide it. And he saw it and he said, yeah, saying, Buddy Rowe, you're not pitching tomorrow.
Yeah.
2 quick strikes to Kingery.
Uh-oh.
Little blood on that thumbnail. As that's off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good pick up by the truck.
Unless Dan got a transfusion in Canada, that is not a foreign substance. As the pitch is boring inside, and Kingery fought it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I used to do that once in a while with my changeup. Grip that index finger a little too tight and it would rip the inside of my nail and bleed a little bit. So sure, it's something simple like that, but a nuisance nonetheless when the blood's dripping on your finger.
Low away. It's 2-2. Kingery 0 for 2. He walked in the 6th inning and was one of 2 Phillies left stranded in that frame. They've left 4 on base tonight. And a swing and a miss. Kingery down on strikes. High fastball takes care of him. And Winkler keeps checking that right thumbnail. He says he's all right. Is that a slider or a cutter?
I think it's a slider. Hung it a little, but he threw it so hard he got away with it.
2 outs for Herrera. Duble's 6th inning single earned him his 19th consecutive game reaching base. Base is empty for him. And he almost got hit. 1 ball, no strikes. Wow, the Mets really poured it on late against Washington. They were down for much of that game, came back to win 11-5 tonight over the Nationals. So no sweep for Washington. Mets will make their way to Atlanta at 13-4. Washington falls to 9-10, 5 games back. Braves will try to pull even with the Phillies and remain 3 behind the front running Mets. 2 balls, no strikes. Right there, 2-1.
There's something about Dan and his delivery and arm action. He looks like, I mean, he's throwing in the low 90s. Looks like he's throwing a lot harder.
A lot of moving parts. A lot of things coming at you.
Right there, 2-2. Dan 6'3", 210, born in Effingham, Illinois, lives in Brentwood, Tennessee, and he just got a soft fly ball to right off the bat of a duel Herrera. Bloodied but unbroken. Dan Winkler works a 1-2-3 8th inning. Atlanta looks for some insurance coming up. Competitive pitching and defense, all of which we saw in the early innings tonight with Brandon McCarthy starting for the Braves. Vince Velasquez matched him pitch for pitch until Ryan Flaherty hit a homer. Dansby Swanson added a solo shot. And as we head to the home 8th, it's Atlanta 4, Phillies 2 in Game 3. That is your game summary to this point.
A couple more wouldn't hurt.
You bet. Ozzie 1 for 3. And fouled off his foot. Little insult to injury. It's been a rough night for Ozzie.
Yeah.
Picked off in the 5th inning. Had a ball hit off the heel of his glove that would have been a miraculous double play turn. Then overran one that turned into an error and led to a Phillies run. But his mates have picked him up. And that one skips up, ball 2. The old saying, sometimes Superman trips on his cape. Now Ozzie will put this behind him if the Braves can win the game. New day tomorrow against the Mets. The 2-1 fouled off Knapp's mask. It's 2-2.
Bill Caudle was a closer for many years. He blew a game one time and said, well, you know, Betty Crocker burns a cake every once in a while too.
I kind of like that one better. Anytime you bring up cake, that's a good thing. Pitch fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Ramos gets Albies to swing and miss. Ozzie down on strikes for the second time. He has been striking out a little too frequently. That's 14 of them on the year. And one away in the Atlanta eighth, and that's going to be the final pitch thrown by Ramos, with Freeman and Markakis coming up. Gabe Kapler, with those lefties at his disposal in the bullpen, will bring one of them on, we presume, here in the last of the eighth inning. One out, nobody aboard. Braves by 2 late. New York Mets to town. They've got their pitching in order, and they are flying high atop the National League East. Join us for Braves Live at 7 o'clock on Fox Sports Southeast. Game streams live on Fox Sports Go. It's April in the ATL, presented by Advance Auto Parts.
Here's the matchup they like. Milner and Freeman. Last year it was a matchup that worked pretty good. This year it's not, at least so far.
Yeah, Freddie wore him out in the first 3 games. Of course, Milner was a man that didn't warm up. Gabe Kapler pounced out of the bullpen, didn't get him ready for Freddie Freeman in time. Opening day, Milner faced Freddie Freeman in the 6th inning, served up a 2-run homer.
That was his first ever home run allowed to a left-handed hitter, first and only.
Gabe Kapler played matchup in the 5th inning with Milner versus Freeman. Freddie walked in the 2nd game, and then in his 3rd game in a row, he had to pitch in the 3rd inning, and Freeman had an infield hit against him, and Freeman just wore one.
Where to hit him? Tell me not in the hand.
He's very slowly walking over toward the Braves dugout. And if Freddie Freeman's coming out of the game, that is not good. And immediately down the steps and into the tunnel. Nobody's come out to pinch run yet. Freddie Freeman hit by a pitch. Charlie Culberson, I think, is going to come on and pinch run. And Milner drills Freeman with the 5th pitch he throws in the sequence, and Freddie walks off the field.
Uh-oh. Same spot.
Exactly the same spot that he was hit by the Toronto Blue Jays.
That little air out of the building.
Ground ball hit the other way by Markakis. Culberson will cut the bag at second. He'll chug for third. Hoskins gets it back in quickly. Markakis with an opposite field hit against Milner. First and third with one out. Freddie Freeman was hit on the left wrist on May 17th and missed 44 games. At the time he was hurt, he led the league with 14 homers, was second in extra base hits, on base percentage, slugging percentage, third in runs, and sixth in average. On May 17th last year, the Braves were 16-21 on the year and 8 games out of first place. Braves are 3 outs away from going 10-7, and hopefully they'll get good news for Freeman. Great facilities here at SunTrust Park have, as that ball's hammered by Suzuki to left field, a base hit brings home Culberson. Markakis will go first to third on the ball hit to left, and that's a big insurance run to make it 5-2. But great medical facilities here at the ballpark. I'm sure Freddie's getting attended to right now, and hopefully we'll get word before we leave air.
Kurtz had a couple of good passes at fastballs tonight, got under a couple of them, but he leveled off on that one. His 5th RBI.
So 5-2 Atlanta. And Borges gets a chance to hit. And everybody in baseball, and especially here in Atlanta, hoping for the best for Freeman. No balls in a strike. And that almost picked off Santana. I think it did. Balk. Yeah, that's a balk. So the Braves will get a gift run. Markakis will score. Suzuki will go to second. Milner picked off his first baseman.
Santana was cheating in case he was going to bunt.
The 0-1. Milner's all over the place. And nobody up in the Phillies pen. With a 6-2 Atlanta lead. Gabe Kapler wants to save a few bullets for their next game. Which is tomorrow night against the Pirates. Bouncing ball to first. Santana will flip to Milner, who covers. Runner to third. Suzuki, and 2 outs. MLB at Bat is your #1 Braves app. Customize your experience and catch every moment this season. Get Braves home screen icons and features like the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. Swanson will be intentionally walked. And Ryan Flaherty will come up with runners first and third, 2 outs in the 8th inning. I don't know if there's a protective device that a hitter could wear to protect you from the shot that Freddie Freeman took on that.
Not on your bottom hand.
Kind of tough because of the extension and the rotation of your wrist that you need for that top hand. Plus Freddie doesn't like to wear any of that stuff.
Broken bat, a base hit. That spoils the strategy. Suzuki scores. Swanson will go to third. Hoskins throws a lawn dart to second. No further advance. And the Braves are pouring it on in the 8th inning. Knapp keeps looking into the Phillies dugout. And it looks like Milner's just going to have to take one for the team here.
Well, it's lefties that are getting him.
Yeah.
Broken bat, though.
4 RBI night for Flaherty. Big inning for the Braves, makes it 7-2. And now Lane Adams will come on and pinch hit. Freddie Freeman is such a gamer, such a competitor, hates to lose, hates to come out of a game. To see him get hit by that pitch and just almost have that shocked look of disbelief and then walk off the field is, to me, the most worrisome part of it.
Yeah, well, it's clearly a feeling he's had before, which is the scary part.
Yes, it is.
You hope it ends up just feeling maybe like it might have felt like before, but wasn't quite. But he kind of had that look like, oh, I know that feeling.
Because when he got hit last year, you might recall, he stood out in the on-deck circle while Jeff Porter examined his wrist for a good 3-4 minutes, it seemed.
And was in tremendous pain.
Yeah. This one, he just carried the bat to the bat boy and then walked off. 1-2. And a swing and a miss. And that's the inning. Braves pick up 3 runs. They're winning the game, but hopefully haven't lost so much more. It's 7-2 going to the 9th.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. And by SunTrust. Confidence starts here.
That makes you wonder what happened. Here's what happened a moment ago.
Almost sounded like it hit the bat. It was so solid.
So Freeman hit by a pitch. He walked off the field. And Atlanta, after a 3-run 8th, turns it over to A.J. Minter to finish things off here in the 9th inning.
This may be a prelude to seeing A.J. Minter more in the 9th inning.
1 ball, no strikes for Rhys Hoskins. And not called a strike. Suzuki thought it was.
He worked an inning and a third 2 nights ago. No hits or runs, but he did walk 2.
And a ballpark that was excited after Swanson's homer. Braves had a 4-2 lead. As you said, Joe, the air is just gone.
Yep.
As as Hobie Milner hits Freddie Freeman with an 8th inning pitch. 2-1 count. And that missed inside. 3 balls and a strike. Minter throws hard. But like many of his bullpen mates, he's issued too many walks, 5 of them in his 8 innings. And now it's number 6. That's the big key if you want to close games in the major leagues. You don't always have a 5-run lead. Many times it's a 1-run lead. You can't issue a walk to that leadoff guy, and that's happened to both Shane Carl and now A.J. Minter.
Well, I agree, Chip. I've always said that if you're going to be successful in the 9th inning, you've got to throw strikes. You don't have to be the hardest thrower, but you got to throw strikes.
Aaron Altair grabs a bat. He'll hit for Williams, who went 0 for 2. Altair off to a real rough start. Three hits and 39 at bats with 15 strikeouts. Right there, 0-2. A little late, but Altair still alive. That bounced up there. Suzuki can't find it. The ball will come to rest on the Phillies on deck circle. So walk now, a wild pitch, and a 2-2 count.
Here's the thing that is bothering me at the moment about AJ. There's very little about him that bothers me because he's so darn good and he's got a good arm. But he does have a 5-run lead, and he's not being aggressive enough. Does that sound fair? I know you can't just pound all fastballs, but with his, maybe you can with a 5-run lead.
2-2. Broken bat. And hey, what a catch. Outstanding play right along the fence.
You got a heck of a jump on that.
That was very Charlie Culberson like. Oh yeah, look at he's pointing at Dansby. Well done.
So Ender Inciarte a great catch. That guy a great catch.
He wants so hard to smile right now, and he's just playing it off.
Ain't nothing. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, a little love up there.
Yeah, I got you.
He's got the point down. I love it.
Yeah, I got you.
2-2 for Altair after the broken bat. And upstairs, another full count. Stroke to left. Borges retreats. That's lined over his head. Hoskins will come home and score. And that's the hardest ball of the year for Aaron Altair, perhaps. That was a rising line drive that Borges couldn't catch. And the Phillies make it a 7-3 game.
It's the worst feeling in the world as an outfielder because it's low. It comes out of the home plate area really low. And then you realize that's not going to come down.
So the walk turns into the 3rd run. Here's Franco. He walked and scored back in the 7th inning. If there was an answer to the question as to why is the 9th inning different than innings 1 through 8, there are a lot of major league pitching coaches, managers, general managers, players themselves who wouldn't have ulcers. But here's Minter with a big lead, pitching in the 9th inning, needing 3 outs to seal this one in the win column, and he can't throw strikes.
Well, I mean, I think, you know, it's twofold. I mean, I think obviously in this situation for AJ, it's he knows what being out there in the 9th inning means and what it represents, and you know, he I'm sure in his mind wants to be out there in the 9th inning a lot if he can. So this is a big opportunity or a big audition for him. But that 9th inning is also an inning that you have no time to recover. You make a mistake, game over.
Little tapper hit toward 3rd. Flaherty got the hop he wanted, and the peg to Culberson at 1st is out number 1. Yeah, it's Joe Borowski, who was a very successful major league closer, said it's the greatest feeling in the world walking into the locker room knowing that you validated the work that your teammates did over the previous 2.5 to 3 hours. He said conversely, there's no worse feeling knowing that, as you said, Tom, you can throw 1 pitch and all that hard work is out the window because you lost the game. So Minter tonight pitching in the 9th inning for the 6th time. Gets ahead of Andrew Knapp. No balls and a strike. Foul away. Those 5 appearances for Minter covered 3 2/3 innings entering tonight's action.
His cut. I'm sorry, Chip. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so it is truly uncharted territory for him at this level.
Well, he's got such a good cutter too that right-handers typically can't handle, but it's a good pitch only when he's ahead in the count.
And it's a much better pitch if he commands that one.
One ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Knapp didn't get it. He had reached base all 3 times up tonight, but he strikes out, and the Phillies are down to their last one here in the 9th.
There's the cutter.
And now Carlos Santana's up. He hit into a double play in the 7th inning. That double play ball brought home the Phillies' 2nd run. 7-3 Atlanta. Ball 1 upstairs. AJ ready with his 2-0 pitch. Took a little off and got a swing and a miss.
That's the cutter though, Chip. He goes from 96 to 91 with that cutter, and you could see Santana, the way it came out of his hand, he's looking for something to drive to right center. By the time his swing got to home plate, the ball was in on his hands. Kind of jammed himself.
Nobody up in the Atlanta pen. Minter about to make his 24th pitch. The Braves need 1 more out to get ready for the Mets. And And on the recoil, Santana got a piece of Kurt Suzuki. 3-2. Braves a strike away from another series win against the Phillies. High fly ball into left center. Ender on the run to the edge of the track. He's got it. And the Braves have taken 2 out of 3 from Philadelphia. Final score 7-3. Home runs tonight for the Braves from Dansby Swanson, Ryan Flaherty, and fellas, it started with an excellent start from Brandon McCarthy.
Great job by Mac, giving him a chance to win, and don't overlook the job Shane Carl did. Came in a big situation there in the 6th inning, got out of it, and then the Braves were on their way after that.
Ryan Flaherty's done a great job. He might have been a little motivated by the earlier signing into the day too, but what a good game by him.
So the Braves enjoy a 7-3 win, and all of Braves country awaits word on the fate of Freddie Freeman, hit by a pitch in the 8th inning, and he had to leave the game as a result. Braves take 2 out of 3. They win their 10th game tonight. Plenty to talk about on Braves Live presented by Xfinity. We'll recap tonight's action and get you set for the Braves-Mets series, which starts here tomorrow night. The Braves Live beginning at 7 o'clock. For Paul Bird, Joe Simpson, Tom Glavine, Chip Carey, and our crew, thanks for joining us. Braves Live is coming up.